Chapter 26. They'd been dancing, talking, gay gals and guys swimming in a sea of music at the silver windows when suddenly the lights went out. 8 men, big, older, simultaneously opened up their jackets to reveal their silver badges. Chicago Metropolitan Police Department. It was a raid. Some of the police were pretty, fags in face and form, but living a lie because they didn't allow homosexuals on the force. It happened around 11:45 p.m. The lights went up, which made everybody stop. Deathly silence. 2 minutes pass, a buzz of conversation resumes. Somebody says we can't get out of here. It's a raid. Then a voice barks, remain where you are. Nobody is allowed to leave. Stay where you're sitting. At the bar next to Mickey is a big, barrel-chested man, a weightlifter. His face is powdered, eyebrows tweezed in narrow arches, a fag. Pulls open his dark blue sweater, and there's the badge. He's on the police force. Plain clothes, a vice cop. A freakish smile plays on his lips. Adrenaline from the scene is exciting him in a weird enjoyment. And the butch hasn't even noticed him there before. The police wagons wait out front to haul gay kids off to jail. 2 separate cars, squad cars, cops in blue uniforms and guns swarm in the door. When the blue and white uniformed police came in, they meant business. Bullets on gun belts, nightsticks, keys swinging at their sides, official star emblazoned on their chests. The cop blocks the staircase 3 steps up. He towers over the room. All eyes look to the exit and back. There's no escape. The club was crowded with young gays, some underage, like Sherry, who's carried a false ID, most 18 through 24. The owner, Bobby, was only 28. The cops went through the crowd, selecting all the femmes, circle facing out, their hands cuffed to each other, person in the circle to their neighbor. The charge was going to be suspicion of prostitution and frequenting a house of suspected illicit activity. Police think nothing is so low as a lesbian or homosexual man that they are criminals and should be treated like whores. Though no soliciting could have been happening, it was simply a crowd of gay kids having fun. In the eyes of society, lesbians were lawbreakers and scum and sluts just because they fucked each other. They let one person go free. Esther said she'd been driving by and had just stopped by to use the bathroom. Esther was so much older than the rest, a middle-aged Jewish businesswoman, that the police believed her, and the cop at the entrance unlocked the door, stepped aside, and let her out, her alone, leaving Eva standing in the circle, handcuffed to Lucy and 10 other femmes. The police unlocked the handcuff on one side of each woman and led them out in pairs. Then one by one they had to climb up into the back of the wagon. Door slammed shut, so they were driven away to jail. Same with the effeminate men in a separate wagon. It was a nightmare. 3 hours of processing everybody left in the bars. Police set up a table which report sheets, and all the patrons were made to come up through single file and show identification. The cops wrote down description, information, address, phone numbers, because what you're doing is illegal and we need to know everything about you in case we have to come looking for you again. The line slowly processed past the cops at the table to the door and freedom. Mickey was released at 3 a.m. Wind rustled her hair and she walked away from the club. Fast. She could still see Lucy's eyes looking back in the back of the paddy wagon in the night under the star-filled sky. Somewhere in the interstellar connections, through the grapevine of the underground, a lot of gay kids had been warned a raid was going to happen, and many of them had not showed up or were tipped off at the bar at the last minute by friends and got out of the club. But Bearded Bobby didn't warn all the patrons inside his bar because there would have been hell to pay if the vice had come in and didn't catch anybody. Eva got released in an hour. Esther was waiting at the police station, bail money in hand. The rest of the kids had to spend the whole night through Monday morning, and all charges were dropped. The charges were shoddy and insufficient, not enough for a judge to take them to trial, but getting a conviction was not the purpose of the raid. This was harassment, a police tactic to keep gays from ever having a public life. So now, where are we gonna go? Mickey snarled. Red pulse beat across the room from the tavern sign outside. Seemed lately the butch was perpetually angry, knowing there was nothing for women. Gay men were the lucky ones. They had a few gay bars for themselves alone, dotted among the millions for straights. So women, a lot of them, were down at Shrimpy's for the internment, for want of a better place. A few black pimps, a few white bisexual hookers, and some old Janes hung around regularly. Jungle life under the elk tracks with some knifings and brawls. This gathering point was not a focus of gay power, a cut way below where the other club had been. Many of the kids wouldn't go there, and they dropped out of the nightlife, so their crowd was dispersed. Mickey had a habit of standing out in front by the doorway to watch the night and think. See a car of gay kids pull up, and they take a look out the front of the place. The neighborhood it was in, littered, shabby, the kind of rough, straight men walking past, or maybe a hooker, and they'd pull out of there and wouldn't even go in.